I just want to give kudos to some amazing heartfelt speeches, sharing personal stories with vulnerability, and then fishing it up.
Vote for two.
Vote for two. Now we're moving on to the evaluation part of our meeting. Here to introduce our evaluators, the man known for Father Finance Fitness. Please welcome Toastmaster Alex Cardenas.
Good morning, Toastmasters.
Good morning.
All right, we have a great select of evaluators coming to evaluate our speakers, to give them kudos, compliments, and such. Our first is going to be JQ Liu, who is going to be evaluating Toastmaster Tim Taylor on his speech of Two Fathers. Toastmaster JQ Liu.
Tim, thank you for such a personal speech. I personally would not be able to say something so personal like that. I want to touch a couple points. Number one, I felt like you were missing you took us on an emotional roller coaster. First, you made us curious about your two fathers. I thought, really, you have two fathers? I'm curious to learn more about them. Then, you gave us humor about how your father being a principal, cattle had in his hand, getting ready to be kids. I thought that was very funny in the way that you delivered it. Then you took us on a surprise when you said your second father was an alcoholic. At that point, I still thought it was a different man. Then you reveal your, tricks, your magic, that it was actually the same man. I thought that was very engaging to the audience. Everybody laughed with you. And then when you revealed that secret of the magic, everybody was quiet, was listening, was feeling emotion and feeling. I thought that was good. Eye contact. I wasn't counting. I felt like it was about 6% looking down on the paper and 40% at the audience. One effective way of using the eye contact that I thought was noteworthy was that when you were emotional, you looked down on the lectern. That also conveyed to the audience that we should be feeling something, and we felt all that. So I think that was a good use of non-verbal eye contact. You told me to pay more attention to your control of emotions. I felt you controlled it pretty well. I haven't seen you tears, but I think I saw something in the audience. That was a good way of delivering that kind of emotion to the audience. We were so engaged, at least I was so engaged, that I didn't know this speech was about to end. I was in there with you in the room with your brothers. I was in the hallway at the school with you. You took us through your journey. I didn't know that this speech was about to end. So I think that was a very good use of your storytelling skills. Nothing that.
Next to evaluate our speaker, our next speaker, Lady Talman, is going to be Kathy Lingadoon.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Morning.
Yes.
Morning.
Toastmaster Lillian asked me that I focus on pronunciation and grammar. Before I get into that, I just appreciated how your story opened our eyes on the view of business from different cultures. How in China that businesses were considered something that was low, whereas here it's considered that is something that is high. And that already within yourself that you were against the norm as a woman, that you even went to school, but that you wanted to do something that people thought was low, which is rare, because people are always aspiring to do something that they consider higher. And you share how the world is changing, that even over here, that more women are entering business. And that encourages us as women also. And kudos to Toastmasters and how it has encouraged you to have a business. And also kudos to Toastmasters because we do have more women coming into the club. Now, for the portion that you asked me to focus on, pronunciation and grammar, the only thing I saw with grammar was that you said your work can make you feel suicidal. So it should be your work can make you feel suicidal. So at least that error won't make us feel suicidal. Now the next thing with pronunciation was government. You have to stress where on govern, have that sound because you kind of chop it a little bit. And the other word that I caught on was for world. It sounded like bird to me. And it's easy to mispronounce that word. So what I would encourage you is to practice those words, okay? By either recording yourself and listening to over. And basically, kudos to you, Lillian, because your speech has encouraged us to follow our dreams. We do not have to remain in the same position. Thank you.
Up next to evaluate Alex McGriff in his speech, If It's Wrong, I Don't Belong, Toastmaster Ty Paxton.
Hello, Toastmasters. Members at the head table. Did you notice what I did that I emulated Alex? I got to the podium, the lectern, and I took my time. That's what he did, and that's what we can all learn from. There's no need to get up here, oh, I call a Toastmaster, and you rush into it, and your timing is oftentimes completely afoul. Alex McGriff has a charisma. We want to hear what that young man has to say. He stands up here, he's animated, he has great humor. One thing that I would encourage all of us to do is to be well prepared. This morning you kind of stumbled a little bit, you were searching a little, and so consequently in the very beginning, when you were story sharing with us, it was a little disjointed. But once you got on your stride, wow, you just laid it out there for us, and we were there with you. You talked about your young years and the crowd that you hung with. And you talked about, is it illegal? Can I get into trouble? And you decided on those two questions to yourself, whether or not you would do it. Kudos to you. That's called taking responsibility for one's own action. And you left that as an unstated message for all of us to take away. And if we don't have it already, we need to get it. I don't want to get bit on my butt today. That's just one example of your humor. You've got a wonderful smile, and you use it very well. Your takeaway today, with all of your humor, is to stand here, deliver your message, and be responsible. Thank you for that.
All right. Here to evaluate Tim Linger's speech on ambrosia, Toastmaster Benjamin Ulikia.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Tim, I asked Tim what he would like to do about his speech. He said, I want to be humorous, I want to be logic. I think you achieved both of your goals. Well, you excelled in describing the scenario. We all felt like being in Alaska, or fishing there, or going in the bus or the tour. So that is very important. You have a way to communicate and describe the scenario. Your speech was entertaining. You drew the audience right away. Yes, you have good eye contact. And also you chose a topic of interest. All of us like to know about that. And also your energy. You walked up there and you showed your energy. That's very good. Okay. Something that you may want to work on is addressing both sides. Sometimes you were on one specific side. So you think about that. Okay? Also pause. You weren't like in a rush to relate your story. I think that you have to take it easy and pause so that people can digest your thoughts. Okay? And also, being this a topic about the dogs, you would have to say, oh, oh, oh. That would be very helpful. Also, in that topic, provide some statistics, some ideas of the size of business, and talk about poisonous food or but other than that, since you are the social entertainer and talk about dog food, don't give us dog food in your places when we go there to entertain. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ben. All right, so can I please get a timer's report?
Yes, everyone qualifies.